Basically, every year the FA, since I've been there, have sent an invitational invite to the secretary of the county FA. So I was expecting an email to come to me as normal, asking us to enter the competition, pay the entry fee, and that was where we were. They did change the whole system, so they've gone on what's called a notification basis, and we probably get, 30, 40 notifications per day. And this came in during my holiday at Easter. So consequently, it got missed. And when I rang them up and said, we haven't heard any news about the draw, what's happening? They said, the draw's been done. I said, oh no. I was absolutely gutted that had happened for obvious reasons. But the notification basis, it transpired that it wasn't just us that missed this. It was some pretty big counties with 30, 40 staff. So I think the FA have come to terms with the fact that the way they notified the change of entry wasn't particularly well done. And we've been allowed back in, which is great news for us.
There was quite a stir on social media about the fact that we had missed the deadline for entries. Is this not a gross oversight? I mean, can you understand why people were rightly annoyed that there was a possibility we'd be missing out on a major competition for our young footballers?
I don't say this glibly. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from if they didn't know the facts. But when you compare ourselves, we've got 4 staff. When you take Cumberland, who previously won this competition, Sheffield's a massive county, North Riding, again, huge county. For want of a better word, they also missed this. So it was the way it was done as opposed to us being lax. We have got fail-safe procedures now. Kevin Maitland in the office has a diary note. I've got a diary note. We've all got diary notes. The slight other factor to consider was we have entered the FA Interleague Cup, and they did that on the old basis. So, it's all very well in hindsight. I'm sure all these people were detracting us, and they probably missed deadlines in work as well. I don't mean that glibly, but we didn't actually deliberately do anything as such. It was just the way the format of the entry was relayed by the FA, and they're going to change that as well next season. So I think everyone's learned from this, and we have to move on.
Are you having conversations with the bodies in the FA who did make this change and perhaps didn't communicate with you as best as they could have done?
We certainly wrote to them. I spoke to someone very senior in the FA who I'll keep to myself. I spoke to him privately, and they said that they would speak to the committee concerned, the competitions committee. So the draw was redone. It's done at Wembley Stadium. It's done in the velvet bag that you see on telly. So we've been drawn back out. We're in the first round. As it happens, the counties let back in. We'll be playing away, and we've been drawn against Cheshire. So that's something to look forward to for our under-18s.
I mean, how many conversations did you have with the younger players, the under-18s who would have been involved, who are going to be involved in this tournament, when that initial news came through that we had missed the deadline? Well,
that was Lewis's job as such, to relay that bad news. And of course, to give the players the due, they've been absolutely brilliant. They just treated it as it was. It was one of those things that had happened. Thankfully, the players now know that we are back in, and that's great news for everybody. And that's the real message to send here. We're back in the competition. It's a very important competition from many, many considerations, not least player development, their conduct and things that go on in a sporting environment where we go to. And let's hope we progress. Let's hope that we get past the Cheshire game and see where we go from there. But it's a game-by-game approach, as you know, in football. You have to take it like that.
Manx Radio Sport.